Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, there is a little civil war occurring at the top leadership of the Ukrainians in Ukraine, and it is Zaluzhny versus Zelensky. Now we know Zaluzhny's got the military, and that's about it, and possibly the Ukrainian nation. Probably they are more inclined to support the Ukrainian Zaluzhny than the Zelensky. Okay, we know Zaluzhny. Let's focus on Zelensky and see who are Zelensky's potential butchers that Zelensky will use against Zaluzhny and the Ukrainian nation when they will probably rise up and try to get him out. So let's start with this article. First, coming from Ukrinform, it is from the 15th of November, and this is one of them. So this is the SBU chief who reports to Ukraine's president on fight against collaborators. So whomever this guy deems as collaborators, these guys are going to do it. So this is Kaganovich in Soviet Union, and this is Stalin. If you're not familiar with the names, please, by all means, go and check them for me. Remember, this is Stalin, Joseph Stalin, Vissarionovich Djugashvili by his Georgian name. He was not Russian, he was Georgian. And then the other one is Kaganovich. Kaganovich was Jewish. Just a coincidence. He was the chief of the secret police when there were those purges, and not only. Okay, so remember, these two guys are gonna be those guys. So collaborators, the same with Stalin and Kaganovich with K. Chief of the Security Service of Ukraine, Vasil Malyuk, that's the guy right here. This is the guy who will defend this guy, and when his skin gets closer to be put as tapestry, he's gonna take care of this guy right here. Has reported to President Volodymyr Zelensky on the fight against collaborators. What if they determine Zaluzhny is collaborator? And those who deliberately incite hatred in the country. So this is one. And he says here, I also held several meetings today. I would like to mention a meeting with representatives of the law enforcement sector, the head of the Security Service of Ukraine, Secret Police. He reported on counteracting collaborators and protecting Ukrainians from those who deliberately incite hatred within our country, he said. Remember, so this is one. And the other one is this guy right here. Remember this one? This comes from the Wall Street Journal. This is from September 3rd, 2023. Ukraine's Zelensky appoints Crimean Tatar executive as new defense minister. Rustem Umerov. Why is the Tatar appointed among Zelensky, Zhmyhal, and Yermak? The Ukrainians, 3 Ukrainians plus the 4th Ukrainian. Why? Because this Tatar probably loves Ukrainians very much. But anyway, we'll find out. So this is another guy, right? When Reznikov, have you heard of Reznikov anymore? This guy right here? Have you heard of this guy? Where is this guy? Hey, he wears this Ukrainian shit. Get out of here. You look like Ukrainian as I look as a sub-Saharan friend of mine. So anyway, here he is. The guy. So this guy is removed, and this guy is in charge right there. The Crimean Tatar, Rustem Umerov. So remember, this guy, when he stole something, and supposedly he's going to dismiss 3 generals from Zaluzhny's team, so they can isolate Zaluzhny. So when the order comes, Zaluzhny is out. We've seen this in Romania with Ceausescu as well. Ceausescu, remember, he was isolated. So when someone, which was Victor Stănculescu, the guy in charge, which is this guy right here, Victor Stănculescu, gave an order, right? What happened? They got Ceausescu the helicopter, dropped him wherever Stănculescu wanted. So there you have it. This guy, together with this guy, are going to be the ones that are going to do this guy's dirty job. So my Ukrainian friends, I'm not doing this because I dislike you or anything. On the contrary, I don't like that you are led by Ukrainians, all right? By Ukrainians. So remember, that guy over there, Kaganovich, will do Stalin's bidding as much as or as long as his skin is not hurt. And then Umerov, again, he's got some problems with others. I will tell you a little story. When the Soviets entered Romanian territory in 1944, and they entered and they occupied the communists, the Soviets occupied Stalin and his Soviets occupied Romania. The Western countries dropped Romania like a hot potato into the arms of Stalin. So you owe me, discrimination, past discrimination, you owe me, I want reparations, okay? Why don't you give me some reparations? When that happened, they appointed in charge, the Soviets appointed in charge of the Romanian secret service, police, military, their people. And they were not really Romanians, if you know what I mean. Why? Because they would have no problems in ordering this and that and this and that to whomever Romanian if it was needed. They had nothing to do with that. How should I put an example? Two nations that don't like one another, and let's say they're intertwined. They have like Romania and Hungary, and you put, let's say, maybe it's not the right. I mean, it is, but I don't want to use it because I like the Hungarians and anyway, you put people that really hate other people, and it's easier for them to follow orders, bad orders, to do bad stuff because they have no compatibility with that group. Like, for instance, you have the Jews and Nazis and all that, and Germans, and if you use a certain kind of ideology, then people would have no problem committing crimes. The same here. Uzmezov, whatever his name is, this guy here in charge, who might be Ukrainian, and then you got Zelensky, another Ukrainian, and you got Shmihal, the Prime Minister of Ukraine, another Ukrainian. You got Yermak, Zelensky's chief of staff, another Ukrainians, appointed. All these guys were appointed by Zelensky, the Ukrainian Zelensky. So that's why Zelensky has no problem saying, oh, we're going to fight until the last Ukrainian. Okay. Right? But you don't think that's the way it is? Well, you got to read history. And if you know, then you would agree with me. Because that's the way you do it. You put in positions where you want them to commit something. People that hate, like let's say right now you got the defense minister, Umerov, whatever his name is. Umerov, let's say Umerov. Let's say Umerov enters Crimea and finds the Russians over there. What do you think he will do to the Russians? Do you think we're going to be like Napoleon entering Vienna or whatever? No, he's going to have no problem doing everything he needs to do with the Russians over there. And he was close. He said, as Napoleon said, you got 24 hours. In 24 hours, I enter. 24 hours, Vienna is yours. And they go over there and do whatever. And then Napoleon comes after 24 hours as a victor, and everything over there was looted, was raped, was everything. I don't know. I think it was Vienna. But that was the norm in the French armée, Grande Armée. You go in, you got 24 hours. Why do you think they were fighting like crazy? Because they loved the emperor that much? Why do they love the emperor? Because he let them, the first 24 hours, the city was yours. So, and then after 24 hours, that's it. Nobody takes anything. So you get rich in those 24 hours if you are... Anyway, thank you. History teaches us things that could happen in the future if the opportunities arise. Why? Because we're dealing with the same garbage, which is humans. We're not all garbage, but in times of war, we are garbage. The worst comes out, or maybe what's actually inside of us comes out and explain itself. I know, not you, I understand, not you. You would be different, and that's great. And I hope you are not in a position of being in that position. And then maybe you were, and maybe you were a fantastic guy, and I thank you for that. I can speak only for... Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.